Hi guys, welcome back or welcome to Switch to Life, and in today's video we are going to be reviewing Universal's first Lego movie, which isn't really a Lego movie, it's more of a documentary. Actually, yeah, that's pretty much exactly what it is. It's a documentary about the music producer known as Pharrell Williams. And I'm just gonna say that I actually didn't really like this movie that much. Granted, this isn't really a movie, it's a documentary. I'm not a big fan of documentaries in general. I mean, I do enjoy animal documentaries made by National Geographic, but that's about as far as my love for documentaries goes. As for this movie, I didn't really think it was good. Maybe it's a great documentary, one of the best ones ever made, but I just didn't enjoy it because that's just me. However, one reason that I went to see this is because I am a huge fan of Lego, and I really enjoyed how Pharrell Williams decided to be asked about making a documentary, and he said that, no, I don't really want to do that unless I can do it my way, and then he decided, you know what? Let's make it fun and interesting.
You know, it'd be cool is if we told my story with Lego pieces.
Seriously?
Yes.
Lego.
Just be open.
And that's how Piece by Piece came to be a thing. And despite its PG rating, I don't actually think this movie is for kids. Obviously, kids might love the animation, but the thing is, there's not too much of a story for them to get hooked on. They can't really get invested in the characters because a lot of the time, the characters don't really talk on screen. It's just voiceover explaining what's happening on screen. Wait, I'm doing that exact same thing right now. Okay, maybe I'm a hypocrite. Oh, and also, there are a ton of adult jokes in this movie, including how the characters are constantly swearing, because, you know, this is supposed to mimic what happened in real life. Oh, and also, they actually recreate a couple of Pharrell's music videos, including a couple that involves skimpy girls in bikinis, and they Legoified it. I did not enjoy that. As for the animation, I thought it was pretty good that they did it Lego animation. Like, I am not really a big fan of documentaries, and if it was any other type of animation aside from Lego, I would not have paid to go see this movie. But because it was Lego, I had to go see it. I'm a big fan of Lego. I collect a lot of Lego sets. But with that in mind, I didn't really enjoy this. Sure, the animation was good, just nowhere near as good as the first 4 Lego movies. I also didn't enjoy the voice acting. Granted, there wasn't really a lot of voice acting, because it was just people being interviewed for documentaries, and then they would talk and ramble and describe their life story. And then there was some times when the dialogue was just unheardable, because I guess there was some background noise when they were recording, and, like, they made an effort in the movie to showcase the actors trying to get rid of the background noise, but that doesn't change the fact that there was background noise in a couple of scenes that made the dialogue impossible to understand. As for the music, I got a love-hate relationship with it. Granted, it's literally just about Pharrell Williams, who is a music producer, and he writes a lot of great songs, and I love that they were included in this movie. The problem is that a lot of the times, the voiceover would ruin the music, which is really disappointing. I'm not really going to be talking much about the story because it's basically Pharrell's life story. You can probably research that on Wikipedia. But essentially, he was a kid born with a condition that made it so that he was fascinated with music, and it would make him see colors.
It's called synesthesia.
It's not something that you see with your physical eyes. It's something that you see in your mind's eye. I just stared into the speaker like, whoa. I didn't even know that I was mesmerized. I just thought that's what all black kids did.
And because of that, and some encouragement from his grandma, he decided to join the band in high school, where he met his best friend, and they formed a band called the Neptunes. And the reason they call themselves that is because as a kid, Pharrell was always fascinated with water, and one of his favorite mythical beings is the god Neptune. And then a music producer comes to town and offers to throw a talent show, and the winners of the talent show would get a chance to be in his recording studio. So the Neptunes win the talent show, and then they go on to record in the studio. But then Pharrell keeps trying to write his own music, which isn't really working out in this relationship. So Pharrell quits and tries to find a new music producer, and eventually he becomes a success with his own songs, as well as collaborating with a bunch of other music artists, including Snoop Dogg. He became a hip-hop sensation, and we even learn how he met his wife and eventually got a kid. And unfortunately, being one of the most famous hip-hop artists, he was sought after by corporate greedy people who wanted to use his name as brand recognition, and he made a lot of deals with dealerships and, selling cheap products that weren't even good. And unfortunately, it just got to his head to the point where he wasn't even making music anymore. He was ignoring all the things that made him happy because he was just making money. And that's when the unthinkable happened. His grandma passed away. And this, along with his dying brand, made it so that he realized that he couldn't keep doing this forever. So he used his grandma's advice to follow his passion and use it to find some way to help humanity. And eventually he made a deal with Illumination. Yes, Lego minions actually show up in this movie. I definitely enjoyed that. But anyway, he was tasked with writing a song, and he had some writer's block going on, but spending time with his family made him realize that he was happy, and that was the inspiration for the new song, Happy, which would eventually release with Despicable Me 2. After that, Pharrell kept writing new music and even became a protester in Black Lives Matter because of one of his songs. And he learned that his music was just being there to help people get through the hard times. And so he ends the film there with the message that as long as something makes you happy, follow your passion and find some way to make it so it improves humanity, even if you have to do it piece by piece. And that's how the film ends. So honestly, it's definitely my least favorite of the Lego movies, which is really saying something with the Lego Ninjago movie, but I don't think it's the movie's fault. It's just the fact that this is a documentary, not an actual movie. And because of that, I can't really find a lot of enjoyment in it, but I do admit that it is good because it has some great animation, and if you are a fan of documentaries, then you will probably enjoy watching this movie. But if you aren't a fan of documentaries, well, there's not really much for you here aside from great Lego animation. But that's the end of my review. If you enjoyed, make sure to comment down below what your favorite Pharrell Williams song is. Mine is probably Also, if you want to support the channel, make sure to click the join button down below and become a member, or you can just do the free option and subscribe. But with that in mind, I hope that you're staying safe out there, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye bye.
Woo! Holy moly, guacamole. Legendary story, yeah.